Hello fellow crafters, Janine here, and today I'm going to be showing you how to give your windows a stained glass look. If you have some small windows or windows in an awkward area that you don't necessarily want to hang curtains over but you would like some privacy, then this is a perfect solution to this. This product is from Artscape. I got it at my local hardware store, and I've already installed it on one window, and it's really easy to install. So I'm going to show you how to do that today. And I tell you, I've had it on one window for quite some time, and it's held up beautifully. So I can definitely recommend this product. I know it to be of good quality, and I know that it works really well and gives me the exact solution that I'm looking for. Some modesty coverage, let's say, just to have some windows covered and for nobody to be able to see through them, but to still allow light through and not have to hang curtains. So as you're going to see in these photos, the first thing that you have to do is measure your windows. Make sure they're clean. Give them a good cleaning, and then measure them. And in this case, on my door, I have 3 windows. Now my mom has the same situation, and the framework around the window, which makes it look like separate window panes, actually is not separate window panes. It just looks like it is. So we're able to take the framework off of her windows and just put one solid sheet of the stained glass vinyl down. But in my case, that it is 3 actual separate panels. So I'm going to have to measure for each window and cut a separate piece for each window. Now luckily every window was the exact same size. They were 19 inches by 7 inches. So that made my job a little bit easier. I can tell you this stuff really is super easy to install. Okay, now I've got the box open, I can get it out. It comes in one very long sheet, as such. And you want to look at it, you want to unroll it and look at it and see the direction. Oh, first off, I'm sorry, I got ahead of myself a little bit. Okay, the other things that you're going to need is obviously a tape measure or a ruler to measure your windows with. I use a tape measure because my ruler wasn't long enough to measure the entire width of the window. So, and then you're going to need, I would suggest a metal ruler of some sort and a rotary cutter. But if you don't have a rotary cutter, try and use an X-Acto knife. You can use scissors. I wouldn't recommend it. You're really just not going to get as nice of a straight and sharp, precise cut with scissors. But you know what? Use what you have. You hear me say that all the time. Okay. And that is the top. Headed in that direction is the top, and this is the bottom. And I do believe I'm going to start at the bottom. And it does come with instructions, so do make sure you read your instructions very carefully. Like I said, I have already read mine, and I have already actually applied the product before, so I'm ready to go. But it'll show you to clean your glass, to clean the window, to measure, and then trim the film to the measurements that you've taken. Then we're going to wet the glass with a spritz of just water. We're going to remove the backing, place the film over the wet window, and then use a squeegee. But I'm actually going to use a brayer, a roller that I have, to help press the water out. I don't have a squeegee. Okay. This stuff is a pain in the butt to get started because it is all rolled up. Okay, now I would recommend a cutting mat because it does make it really easy to get those measurements perfect and to get everything straight. And boy, that is the bomb diggity there, everything being straight. I'm also going to use a little bit of tape while I'm cutting, just to keep everything nice and still so it doesn't shift around on me while I'm cutting it. And I apologize if my head was all up in the camera shot. Okay, so I know that I need it 7 inches high, but I think it's going to be easier to cut this away first. So I know I need it, but since I placed, oh, it's not holding there. I have to put something heavy. This product is very, very thick. You're not gonna damage it easily. Let's put it that way. Okay, since I didn't actually go all the way to the bottom corner with this measurement, I went like in an inch both directions, up and in. So actually for the 19 inches, I actually have to go to the 20 here to cut. And then I'm gonna use my ruler as my measurement. And now you are going to have to apply some pressure to really get through. And now I can do my cut at 7 inches across. And again, I'm going to go to 8 inches. The 8-inch mark here, because I'm up by an inch. And I'm sorry my head might get in the camera shot, because I have to be able to see what I'm doing. Whoa, went a little bit off there. Now this is a pretty generous panel of material, so you are going to have a little bit of wiggle room if you make a mistake. Okay, so I just continued on with the second piece, doing it exactly the same way that I did the first piece, taped it down, then used the measurements on my cutting mat to get everything cut out. As straight as possible. Of course, I'm not perfect, even using a ruler and a cutting mat. Another suggestion I have to make as you cut your pieces, since they do need to go in a specific order to keep the pattern even, is to number them. So I'm going to say this is the 2, middle, or to mark them in some kind of way. Now we're taking this backing sheet off, so don't worry, it's not going to show. We're going to say number 1 bottom. Or you could just say bottom, middle, and then we'll have a top. Whatever works for you. I'm going to go ahead and cut the third piece, and then I'll show you how to put everything on the window. Okay, so I just have a regular just spray bottle mister with just plain water in it. And I peel the vinyl off of the backing sheet. And I already took a look at it to make sure that I had it going in the proper direction, so that, of course, the bottom was towards the bottom of the window, and then the pattern as it moves up, is in the proper location at the top of the window. And so I just gently press everything in place, and with my hands, I'm just working some of the bubbles out. And there was a little something stuck to the vinyl, or probably stuck to the window and then stuck to the vinyl, so I just removed it there. And so I'm just kind of moving everything in place and getting it up against the edge of the window framing, and just continuing to smooth it out, press bubbles out, press excess water out. And I'm not pressing very hard, it's just really light touches at this point just to get the bubbles and excess water out. And this is when I grab my brayer, and I use that to roll those finer, smaller bubbles out that didn't want to move, and again to squeegee the excess water out. Again, not applying a lot of pressure, very gentle pressure here. And this is when I realized I had a little excess vinyl at the bottom. The windows aren't perfectly square, so I did have to do a little trimming after I got everything on. And that's all there is to it. It's pretty simple. And then I just grab a paper towel and use that to wipe up the excess water from around the bottom and sides and across the surface of the vinyl cling. And now I'm just going to continue to do the same method on the second and third windows. I'm getting the vinyl started peeling off, and then I wet this window with water. Place the image on. Now this one, again, like I said, I'm not working with perfectly square windows, so this one, you can see there's a little gap between the vinyl and the window. If that really bothers you, you'd have to go back and start from scratch. You might could cut a sliver of a piece to cover that little bit of gap. It's not bothering me. I have a wreath that hangs on that window, so it's really just not going to show, and I'm not that concerned about it. And again, I'm checking to make sure I've got the proper directionality to continue on with the third piece. Sprayed the water and pressed all the bubbles out, then used my brayer to finish removing excess water and bubbles. And everything looks beautiful, giving a final wipe with a paper towel. And this is where I came back with my rotary cutter and just cut off that little bit of excess that was a little bit too long on that part of the windowsill. And this is the completed project. I love the way it came out. I'm so happy that you tuned in to watch me show you how to apply faux stained glass. Thank you so much, and you have a very blessed day. Bye now.